some competitive situations, and there's a lot we can learn from on this film. A lot of things that we haven't experienced this year that we experienced yesterday. So it'll be a good learning experience for all of us on the team, and things that we can all clean up, coaches, players, everything. So we'll try to improve on yesterday's performance, and we'll need that against Seattle. They were impressive against Atlanta. Another great day from Wilson, and so we'll have to get to them here as soon as we turn the page on Miami today.
First question, Mike Reese, followed by Zach Cox.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good, Mike.
Good. Some might look at the way you guys played offensively yesterday and say that looked different in a lot of ways than what we've seen in the past couple decades, and maybe ask the question, how much did the Patriots sort of rip up the playbook and build a new one? How did you, is that exactly what happened, or how would you sort of answer that thought?
We always try to do what's best for the team to win, and everything we've done for the last 20 years, and rightfully so, has been for Tom Brady. It was for Tom Brady. Everything was dedicated to him, other than the games that he didn't play in, like when Castle played, or Jimmy, and then Jacoby when Brady was suspended. So there were times when we had to plan differently, but when your starting quarterback has things that he's good at, or things that you can take advantage of, then I think you try to take advantage of them.
How much does that speak to the flexibility that you have within the offensive system, or is that sort of pretty standard, would you say, from your experience in football, to be able to adapt like that?
Yeah, I can only speak to the team that I'm on. So, like I said, we try to do what's best for the football team. We always do.
Next question, Zach Cox, followed by Michael Hurley.
Morning, Bill.
Hey, Zach.
It looked like Joe Juan had a tough assignment yesterday against Gesicki in some of those third down situations. What made you confident that he could handle that assignment, and how do you feel like he fared out there?
There were a couple, he had a couple really good plays, big plays. Pass breakup on third down, had good coverage there on the interception at the end of the game. Kind of on the overthrow there, it took Gesicki away and couldn't get the ball in there, and JC intercepted it. So, Gesicki's really just, he's a big receiver. I mean, he's not really a conventional tight end, but he's a tough matchup in the passing game. And, felt like Juwan matched up against him and did a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next question, Michael Hurley, followed by Megan O'Brien.
Hey, good morning, Bill.
Hi, Mike.
I had a question about the 4th and 1 decision. Really, two parts. Is there a calculus where going up by 6 at that point isn't really worth it compared to going for it when you're deep in the opponent's territory? And secondly, I noticed that Micah Onwenu, Justin Herron, Devin Asiasi were on the field in that play. What is it, those guys playing in their first game, what is it that gave you the confidence to have those guys out there in that spot in their first NFL games?
All right. Well, those players all practiced and gave us confidence to do that. So that's why we put them out there, and we knew that obviously those situations are going to be critical situations, 4th and 1s or goal lines or whatever. We're not going to, that's not the type of play that you would expect that type of play to come up in a critical situation, which it did. So. But they showed the ability to execute that in practice, and all those 4th down situations, they're all different, but certainly being up by 6 is a lot better than being up by 3, especially late in the game when a field goal isn't enough for the offense. They've got to go to the end zone, but we just felt confident in that situation, and players came through and executed it well. Cam gave us a good run, and we ended up inside the 1 yard line, so. worked out well. But that was good execution by the players.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question, Megan O'Brien, followed by Ian Steele.
Hi, Bill. Yesterday was Derek Rivers' first healthy game in over a year, and he missed his first season due to injury. I was just wondering what you've noticed about Derek Rivers and how he's worked to get himself healthy and back out on the field.
Yeah, thanks, Megan. That's a great point that you brought up there, and Derek's really done an incredible job. You mentioned some of the adversity he's been through, but I don't think I've ever really seen him in a down day. He's always got a positive attitude. He works extremely hard. He always works on the things that will help him and help the team. Kind of the first one in, last one out type of guy in the building, and really glad to see him out there yesterday and have an opportunity to play and have some success and help us win. But he's really showed a lot of mental toughness and really an incredible amount of mental toughness over the last 3 years. To deal with some of the setbacks that he's had. None of which were really his fault. Just bad breaks, really. I don't think he did anything wrong. It's just, that's football. And but he never had anything but a positive, hardworking, competitive attitude. He did what he could do, and he rehabbed what he couldn't do. And so he's had a good camp here, good start to the season. And as you mentioned, him having the opportunity to play yesterday and go out there and help the team win was very gratifying. I know for him, but for all of us, all of his teammates and other people on the team, and the training staff, the strength staff, all the guys that have worked with him for during that time as well to help him regain all of his physical attributes, which I think he's done a good job of, and they've done a good job of. But it came to fruition yesterday, and as I said, I think that was gratifying for everyone. Thanks for recognizing it.
Next question, Ian Steele,
Thank you.
followed by Ian Steele, followed by Mark Daniels.
Morning, Bill.
Ian?
I'm curious in terms of, I remember you mentioned in training camp that ball security was something that you were concerned of over going into week one, specifically with contact and some situations that the guys hadn't been through. And with N'Keal Harry's fumble out of the end zone for a touchback and Demir Bird's first punt, I'm wondering if that's kind of just what you were concerned about in Compass and how you'll approach that moving forward here.
Yeah, well, the punt situation was a totally different situation. That was, Miami actually did a good job by, pushing our player into the returner. It was a good play by them. It's something we've got that's the game situation that you don't really get in practice very often, although we've talked about it plenty of times. But the actual physical contact that led to that, to the punt muff is one that that's a good situational play that we really, obviously going to have to spend more time on. But I'll just say ball security in general. It's everybody would, a lot of people would focus on the play or plays that happen where the ball was actually loose, and those are critical plays. But really, we analyze every play, every time the ball's handled. So was the ball security good or wasn't it? And even if it didn't come out, if our ball security is not good, and it's only a matter of time until a defender is able to get his hand in there, and the situation's a little bit different, the traffic situation's a little bit different, and the ball will come out. So we analyze it on every play, practice and games. It doesn't matter whether it actually did or didn't come loose. What really matters is the technique and the handling of the ball, so that it's always properly protected. So we've always done that. As I said, we do it on every play in practice. We do it on every play in the game. I don't think that's ever going to change. There are corrections to be made, and it's just an awareness of that for everybody who handles the ball, including the defensive players after they intercept it or scoop it up on a fumble. returners, and obviously all the ball handlers on offensive plays. So we'll continue to emphasize it.
Thank you.
Next question, Mark Daniels, followed by Jim McBride.
Good morning, Bill.
Hey, Mark.
I wanted to ask you about two players you had at right tackle yesterday, Jermaine Illuminor and Michael Wenu. Obviously, Jermaine played a little bit more tackle in college, and Baltimore was probably a little bit more guard, and Michael was probably a little bit more guarded last year in Michigan. Just how do those two players do, in week one for you? And just what does it say for, even the versatility for someone like Michael, who came into the NFL as with the majority of his experience at right guard, and then it's week one and he's playing a little bit of tackle.
Right. Well, Mike's a very flexible player, and I don't think he's played tackle since high school, but he played a number of positions for us in training camp, guard, tackle. We saw a tight end there in the game yesterday. Similar but different than Solder. When Solder was drafted, of course he was a first-round pick, but came in and played the majority of his rookie year at right tackle and the jumbo tight end position. So, Mike's earned playing time, and he's been able to play different spots for us. Right now our two guards are pretty established players, and they've played well. So if we can find a way to utilize our personnel productively, then we'll try to do that. But Mike's a smart kid, and he's got good versatility. He's worked hard, and he's embraced the opportunity to play different positions. And even though he doesn't have a lot of experience there, he learns quickly and is able to utilize his skills to be productive. Jermaine, as you said, has gone back and forth between tackle and guard in his professional career. He played tackle for the Ravens. He's also played guard. So, with Marcus opting out this year, we had a good opportunity to kind of open the right tackle position up to competition, and those two players are ahead of the rest of them at this point. So, we'll see how that goes. But I think, both Jermaine and Mike have the ability to play inside and outside. They've shown that. So we'll just have to, see how things progress moving forward. But it was good to get an evaluation of it yesterday, and, we'll see how it goes next week and in the succeeding weeks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next question, Jim McBride, followed by Doug Kyed.
Good morning, Coach.
Hey, Jim.
I wanted to ask you about what you've seen from Ryan Izzo and his development, particularly as a blocker. It seemed like he was critical to the success of the run game yesterday.
Yeah, Ryan's, a little bit different than the situation we just talked about with Rivers, in that he's, played a little more than that. But, he's also dealt with a couple setbacks here in his first 2 years. And, I feel like even though our opportunity to work with him this year was limited in the offseason, he took from the end of last year until the beginning of this year and, improved his strength and, put on some solid weights, worked on his blocking fundamentals, continued to improve those. Coach Cayley, his position coach, and he's certainly gotten better over the course of this year's training camp and relative to the 2 prior years. He been out there every day. So, when you're out there every day working hard, you have to improve, and he certainly has. So, he made nice catch and run for us on a play action pass, and gave us a pretty solid effort there at tight end yesterday, and we needed that. So he did a nice job. But again, kind of like Rivers, he's shown a lot of mental toughness and competitiveness to continue to work, even though things weren't always always going the way he wanted them to or the way we wanted them to. He stuck with it with a good positive attitude and day after day commitment, and that paid off.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for recognizing that too.
Next question, Doug Kyed, followed by Evan Lazar.
Good morning, Bill.
Doug?
We saw a pretty heavy rotation at safety next to Devin McCourty. I was wondering if that was more due to getting guys up to speed after no preseason and sort of a shortened training camp, or if it was just about wanting to get all of those players on the field.
Yeah, well, we played a lot of players defensively at all positions, so those guys were all out there. Of course, anytime you play a team with multiple receivers on the field, which the majority of the time Miami had four receivers on the field, including Gesicki. So that forced you to use more defensive backs, and the safety position is part of that. So, a lot of rotation on the defensive line, on the outside linebackers, defensive ends, the inside linebackers. All three of those guys played, and our four safeties and corners played as well. So, I think you saw that rotation all the way across the board. But of course, there's more defensive backs, especially when Miami was behind there in the fourth quarter, and it was not 2 minute, but kind of was 2 minute. They had the 2 minute situation at the end of the half, so there were a lot of real, probably a third of the game in terms of total number of plays were, let's call it pretty obvious passing situations or passing groups. So that always leads to more DBs on the field.
We'll do two final questions, Evan Lazar and Phil Perry.
Hey, Bill, just understanding that you want to take advantage of Cam's ability to run the ball. He ran it 15 times yesterday, and I was just curious from your perspective if you thought that was something that could continue, or would you like to, kind of manage it a little bit better so he's not, taking that many body blows in a game?
Yeah, well, some of those runs are option type runs, so we don't know who's going to get the ball. Depends on how the defense plays it. There's not like, handing off ball up to the halfback run up the middle. So when you run plays that have, some type of an option to them, then, you don't know for sure who's going to get the ball. So that's just, an unpredictable part of that play. It's like running a pass play unless it's a screen pass, when you drop back and throw the ball, you don't know which receiver you're throwing to. It depends on the coverage and the matchup that you get. So it's the same thing on an option type run. It could go to the quarterback could keep it, or the quarterback could hand it off. It really depends on how the defense, how they defend the play. So, I think those numbers are, with all due respect, I think they're a little bit skewed. The defense, if they played a certain way, they could, put the ball in whoever's hands they want to, if they want, if they really want to declare who's going to get the ball. So we'll see how teams play us going forward on those type of plays. If we run those again, I don't know. We'll do what's best each week based on the team that we're playing and how we feel like we can attack them.
And last question, Phil Perry. Phil, you're muted. We have you now, yes.
Stacey, you got me? Sorry about that. Lost my connection there, I think, for a second. Bill, I wanted to ask you about the Edelman run in the fourth quarter there. Is that first play, that last touchdown drive?
Right.
I'm wondering if you guys saw anything throughout the earlier portion of the game with those motions that I know you guys use a lot of, and how Miami was reacting, that may have led to that being the right call in that spot. Was there something about those types of looks before where those motion guys obviously weren't getting the ball, that made Edelman a good option to carry it on that one?
Yeah, well, I think anytime you set up a game plan, you try to have complementary plays in the plan. So if they're taking away a certain thing, then theoretically you have something else to complement that they would have trouble defending, or that they're not taking away. So, Josh does a great job. Josh is an outstanding offensive play caller. He does a great job of mixing things up, setting things up, and also recognizing how the defense is adjusting to certain, whether it's formations or the deployment of individual personnel, or how their adjustments, with certain defenses, you have sometimes one way to adjust it, but sometimes you can have more than one way to adjust it, and you want to identify offensively which method they're using. So, Josh totally understands defenses. He's coached on defense. He knows how defenses operate and what their choices are, and if they choose one, then, but they're vulnerable from having not chosen the other one in certain areas. So, combination of good play calling, obviously good execution by the players, and, again, having a good game plan so that if you feel like there's, like I said, something that they're taking away, that you have hopefully a complementary way to attack the defense so that they can't, as I said, theoretically stop both types of plays. So I would say probably fell into that category, as do most of our offensive plays. So we try to find some place that we think that we can attack, but if they take that away, then rather than just trying to attack the same spot, then we hopefully can get to something that will hit the weakness of the defense, not the area that they're trying to take us out of. But then it always comes down to whether you can execute those complementary plays or not. And of course that was very well executed plays, good run by Julian, and then we got the penalty on top of it. So those are things that good play calling, good execution, that can lead to good results.
Great. Thanks a lot, Bill.
Okay.
Coach,
Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow. Yep.
Sorry for those we didn't get to, but Coach, thanks for the extra time.
Okay. Thank you.
There's nothing better than fall together with the signature pumpkin spice iced latte or pumpkin iced coffee. Pumpkin is back at Dunkin'. Enjoy contactless ordering on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'.
What's my retirement savings plan? Oil, baby. Oil. Sprinkler pipe. Diane!
Ready or not.
Gillette ProGlide and ProGlide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. So you're ready for the day with a clean shave and a clean face.
For over 60 years, this team has transformed itself into a championship organization. For over 160 years, our team has demonstrated a similar mentality. There are no days off. Our front lines are fortified by people who sacrifice individuality for the team. Our shelves are also stocked with the best quality products and ingredients. Our team members know their roles. We're proud to do our jobs. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the 6-time champion New England Patriots.
My Caleb sofa and love seat. With Bob's discount, you get both pieces for just $7.99.
$7.99? Are you joking?
Do I look like I'm joking?
Yes. You look like you're joking.
I'm serious.
Cool.
Get Bob's discount! There's nothing better than fall together with the signature pumpkin spice iced latte or pumpkin iced coffee. Pumpkin is back at Dunkin'. Enjoy contactless ordering on the Dunkin' app. America runs on Dunkin'.
What's my retirement savings plan? Oil, baby. Oil.